Hi, I'm Simon and welcome to the 12th episode of How Far on One Life. Today I'm going to be going back to some of my earliest days as a gamer, back to the Acorn Electron and playing Superior Software's 1986 classic, Thrust. And this is a game that I come back to every year or two and play it a few times, but every time I do, I enjoy it just as much as I did when I was a little kid, first playing it on my uncle's BBC Micro and then later on the Acorn Electron when I got my own copy of the game. And there's something about this, like many of the other great games from this time period, they are simplistic, but just a joy to play. And because of that simplicity, I mean, this game is a little spaceship, a vector-drawn spaceship, with gravity pulling it towards the ground, and you have a thruster on your ship, a single thruster that allows you to keep yourself from falling to your death, but it's also your only means of propulsion and navigating the environment. And that in itself is just fun to do. It's simple, but fun. And then as the game progresses, you have to go deeper and further underground through caverns to reach what is your essential goal of every level, and that is rescuing an orb or a pod that needs to be lifted using your tractor beam up out of the cavernous maze and then into space, and where you can hyperspace away and move to the next level. The game itself has 24 levels, or they do repeat, but that is essentially the game. When you complete those 24 levels, that is, at least by the developers, that is considered completing the game. Like so many other Superior Software games of this time, they had a competition running for the first person to complete the game. There was a cash prize and also a trophy to be won by whoever, I don't know who, but whoever won the Thrust competition. And those 24 levels have never been breached by me. I've never even got close to the 24th level. I think the furthest I've ever got is maybe level 5 or level 6. And with One Life, I'm not even going to be getting close to that. Now, as I've often done in the past, I don't have most of my old retro gaming equipment here, so I can't play the Acorn Electron original. That's back in the UK. So I'm going to be running ElectrEm on my Mac, and I'm going to be using a keyboard that I bought here in China, which is okay, but I would rather play this game on a control pad, but I'm trying to keep it somewhat authentic and playing it on a keyboard as I would have done as a child. So let's see how far I can get on One Life. Well, like most games of this time period, the start screen is little more than just a list of controls. So as you can see, you can turn left and right, you can fire, you can thrust, and there's a key to activate your shield and tractor beam. And the first level is really little more than just a tutorial, allowing you to work out that you have to collect the fuel using your tractor beam, and also destroy the gun emplacements. And then the goal of every level is to capture this little orb that's sitting on a pedestal, activate your tractor beam close enough, and thrust a little bit until it lifts off, and then it's under your control, connected to your tractor beam, and it affects the momentum of the ship. Thrust too far in one direction and this thing will become a real ball and chain. So all we have to do at this point is thrust up into space to activate our hyperspace. And there we go. Level 1, very simple. Level 2, a little bit more tricky because we've got to go underground, and there are a couple of gun emplacements here that need to be taken out. There we go. So might as well take the fuel while I'm here. And then, right, so you have to be a little tricky, a little more careful here because it gets a little trickier. But not too much because I can just thrust straight up into space and get away. So first couple of levels, simple stuff, but sometimes I still die on the, even sometimes on the first level. But always from my own stupidity. But level 3 proves to be quite a bit more challenging. Okay, so I should, oh no, not destroy all of the fuel. I was going to say take out that little gun emplacement, because, oh dear, because he can get a little tricky on the, oh. Yeah, pushing all these keys at the same time can make for quite a lot of mistakes. Alright. Okay. Oh god, took out the fuel as well. Getting a bit trigger happy. Right. Let's get this thing out of here. Okay. Now this bit gets pretty tricky for me. Get it through this bit here. Because I've got to take it sideways without running out of fuel. It's crazy. This is what I love about this. Okay, alright, that's the hard bit over and done with. It doesn't mean I'm not going to crash, because if the orb touches the walls, that's it, you both die. Okay, we're out of there. Yes, okay, level 4. Again, similar sort of thing. Slightly trickier underground caverns. The guns are firing a bit faster as well. Okay. Okay. And here you've got to shoot the little orb on the wall to open the door. Oh! And it's that simple to die. Pure stupidity on my part. But there we go. That's it. That is thrust. And that's why I love it. Because you can just, one tiny little mistake and it can be, well, not all over because of course you have lives, but in this case it is game over for me. There we go. So, not a bad go there. That was a little bit better than I do on average, but not my best go with one life. So hopefully there was enough there for you to see how good the game is and also why I like it so much. There's just something about these games where they've got very tight controls and they put you on the precipice of death pretty much all the time. It's just that tension that's built up there that really makes it for me. And a lot of old games have got that. It's sort of instant death upon making a mistake. Sometimes that can be frustrating if the controls are a bit sloppy and it feels like you're being cheated. But when the controls are tight and it's you making the mistakes, that is where video gaming is, for me, at its best. And there are other games like this. Of course, I mentioned Gravatar, but more recently there's been well, not a remake, but a game that's influenced by thrust called X-Pilot. Now I have to put my hand up and admit that I have never played that game, but I will be playing it soon because it's a free open source game and it's available on the Mac. It's called Xpilot NG, in case anyone is interested. But as always with these videos, it's a way for me to share something I really enjoy, but also to hear back from you guys. So let me know, what do you think about this game? What do you think about this style of game, this type of gravity-based shooting game? Because maybe there are others out there. Obviously, Gravatar is probably the most famous, but I'm sure there are others that I've got no idea about, maybe on some of the modern systems. If you know about those, I'd love to hear about it. So thanks very much for watching. From my spare room to wherever you are, this is Simon signing off. Bye-bye.